Welcome back. We keep moving on. We are on to our next speaker. You may have heard of him, Mark Organ. He is joining us today from Category Knots. Mark, welcome.
Pleasure to be here.
Yeah,
Love this format. Um, Rapid fire is kind of like the little tweet compared to a blog. It's really good, really good. I'm sure it's been engaging so far.
for sure, for
Um,
sure. Yeah, the tweets of webinars. That's a good tagline. Here we go. We'll let you take over and feel free to let us know what you've got going on in your hot take today.
oh yeah, we're gonna take it up a notch. That's what we're gonna do. All right. So today what we're gonna do is talk about why you should fire your marketers and you should hire your customers to go and do their job and actually other jobs in your company. And here's why, right? Think about the last time that you bought something risky or expensive, either personally or professionally. Just think about that for a minute. And was it an email from a vendor? Is that what got you over the goal line, or was it an ad from an influencer? Like probably not, right? And probably again, if it's something that's risky or expensive, it was a personal recommendation from someone you trusted. It was reviews online. It was a video that you've seen of a successful customer using this expensive product or service, and that is why you move forward. Yet, as marketers, how much are we focused on that in terms of surrounding our prospects, our buyers, with customer evidence? Chances are we are drowning our customers in email and more email. And so I want to change your mind on that and get you to focus more on surrounding your buyers with customer love. So a little bit about me. So I am a longtime SaaS CEO. I founded Eloqua and Influitive and got those to exits or to being a valuable, profitable company. I also wrote a book called The Messenger is the Message. It's a best-selling book. And it's all about how to mobilize customers to do more for your company. And if you're a SaaS CEO and you're right between sort of 2 and 5 million ARR, you're right in my sweet spot for coaching. And my job is to help you get to 15 to $20 million in ARR, which I've been able to do pretty consistently. So we've heard a lot about customer centricity over the last, I don't know, 10, 20 years. That's not enough right anymore. We hear now about companies like Amazon, Jeff Bezos talking about being customer obsessed. And the reason why is that technology really isn't the issue now in order to generate more sales, especially now. It's really much more about trust. As Jeff says, if you build a great experience, customers will tell each other about that. Word of mouth is powerful. And that's not just true for your product. It's also true for the buying process and even the process for advocating for your company. So think about that. Like, how can we make it more pleasurable, more valuable for people to go and recommend you to people that they care about? Okay, if you can do that, you're going to get a lot more of this very valuable advocacy. And trust is really at an all-time low. And actually, it's now past where this data is from. It's even worse now, right? People don't trust businesses, they don't trust government, they don't trust the media, they really don't trust anybody or anything other than people who are close to them. It's more true than ever before. So if you're not able to tap into the power of trust, you're not going to be doing very well. And it doesn't matter how many emails and how many ads you subject your prospects to, it will not generate the kind of return that increasing trust does. And that's especially true now because we are inundated with a barrage of information every day, and information and disinformation and malinformation and all kinds of stuff like that. We are absolutely deluged with it. And so we are hungering, we are desperate for sources of trust. And Marshall McLuhan from my hometown here in Toronto said the medium is the message. And the idea here is that the vehicle by which the message is reaching you is actually the message of the time. And that's what he said back in the 70s. Now, I think the message of our time is the messenger, right? The messenger, who you're hearing a message from is the message. And so you want your prospects hearing from messengers that they trust and respect. So I found a company called Influitive back in 2010 that is focused on getting customers to go and talk more, to use that to go and generate better marketing. Subsequently got really excited about this idea called the customer-powered enterprise. So not just in marketing, but in sales, in customer success, in product. Customers are so much better than your employees at getting this done. How can we break down the walls in your company between customers and employees? How do we bring customers in so we're all rowing together? Those are powerful companies. In fact, if you look at industry leaders, are almost always the advocacy leaders as well. So the question is, how do we do this? How are we able to mobilize customers to get more done? And we're going to talk about that in a bit. But first, why this is so important and why industry leaders are the advocacy leaders. It's really simple. For one thing, if you've got more customers involved in your business in every way, again, not just marketing, but you've got advocates that are helping to close deals with references. You've got advocates that are helping you build better products and services. You've got advocates that are helping you retain customers. Well, you're not paying them a base salary, are you? Right? People are not cheap, right? If you've got people who are working for you essentially for free and they're really effective at their jobs. Do you know why they're so effective at their jobs? Because they speak a special language and it's called customer ease. Okay, they speak customer really well. They understand customers better than your employees will ever understand customers. So if they're more effective at helping if every customer is helping you generate more customer revenue and they also don't cost a lot, then that's a recipe for winning. Okay, so hopefully now you're convinced this is something that you need to invest in. And so how do you do it? So the way that I've done it through my companies and now through my coaching and my advocacy is with a community. And a community can be very sophisticated. And you can see an example here on the left, which is Cisco's multi-award-winning community called the Gateway. And it's a gamified community that gives people points and rewards for executing on our behalf, for doing referrals, for doing videos, for generating 5-star reviews online, for helping to recruit people, for helping even to choose the songs that happen at a live event. All kinds of things you can use your customers to do. They do in a community. But it doesn't have to be an expensive, big community. That's where you eventually probably want to get to when you take this seriously, is you want a professional gamified community from a company like Influitive, and there's other companies out there. There's Base.ai, there's Insided. Lots of companies are doing this. Even Salesforce.com community and others can be changed so that you can do this sort of thing in it. But you can start as simple as a Slack community or a WhatsApp community. Where you just invite your customers in and you are able to use it to get people talking to each other. You can provide challenges for them to get them to execute a little bit on your behalf. One story is kind of interesting. When I used the community in sales, I had 9 out of the top 10 top software companies in the world using my product. I didn't have Microsoft. I went out to the community and said, how do I get into Microsoft? How do I win these guys as a customer? And a smart person said, well, you need to go after the parts of the company that are close to the CEO, but yet they're not doing very well, like Bing at the time. Now, Bing is on fire now, but Bing at the time and Teams. And then I asked other people, so that's great. Who can get me in there? Who has connection? And got the leads to those major folks, and the rest is history. Became a great customer. So it can just be a simple community. It can even be just a quarterly dinner that you have with your customers. That can be enough to give people the feelings that they're looking for. So customer-powered marketing, you can use customers everywhere in the marketing process. Content marketing. What should we write about? Your customers can tell you better what you should write about than your own people. Once you write the content, how do you make that content better? How do you distribute that content to people? Again, these are all things customer advocates can help you do at the top of the funnel, the middle of the funnel, bottom of the funnel. You make your events more effective, get a lot more engagement at events, get engagement after events. Really, there's no limit to what you can do in marketing. And so, again, encourage you to get your customers involved as much as you can. And in order to do that, what you really need is to give them a great experience. which I'll get to in just a bit. Just a story here around customer success stories. I hope people here are fired up about generating customer evidence. I sure am. Chances are you need 10 times as many stories as you have today, maybe even 100 times as many stories. So this is a company called Hero K-12, got 31 customer stories published in just a few months. The reason why you need more is you need one for every use case that you have, for every type of customer you have. I mean, those are the stories that really resonate, the kinds of stories that your sales reps and customer success managers are going to want to use to advance the buying process and generate more retention. And again, the community is an amazing place to source ideas for stories, to actually get the use case that's most important to you, to get a story around that particular use case, right? Where you can go to the community and say, who has used our product to achieve X result, to have gone global, or to reduce costs. And so you get the specific case study you need in order to solve those problems. You can use your community for that. So again, how do you motivate your advocates to do more? So this is what I cover in my book, The Messenger is the Message. 3 main things: exclusive tribe, meaningful impact, and social capital. So exclusive tribe, people like to be part of something bigger than themselves. I mean, why do people paint their faces at football games like these Raiders fans here, or tattoo Harley Davidson on their arm? People want to feel like they're part of something. So you can do that by naming your community, by giving it a very special feeling and flavor, making it a club, an exclusive tribe. When you do that, you're going to get a lot more advocacy. Secondly, meaningful impact. People want to know how well they're doing. So if someone's generated a referral for your company, let them know that that referral is now in a demo, or that's now a closed deal, or if they're out of the funnel, why they went out of the funnel. If they helped you write a story, how many hits has it had? How much impact has it had on your organization? If you give people that feedback, they're going to do a lot more activity. And finally, social capital. If people are going to improve their life and their career because of the advocacy that they've done for your company, then they're going to do a lot more of it. So encourage you to provide that social capital. Give people things that they can write in on their LinkedIn, or other aspects like that. Find out what is it that they're looking for in their career growth and development. Are they looking for more speaking opportunities? Are they looking for more writing opportunities? How can you elevate the career of your successful customers? Again, if you do that, they're going to do a lot more advocacy. So that concludes my hot take. I hope you've convinced to go fire some marketers, hire your customers, and you'll achieve better results.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you so much, Mark. Just like, I think every company out there has got a couple case studies that they've already been working on, right? Or they've got a handful, they're starting to grow. But really, what I took away is making that next step and really developing that sense of community from your company, and enabling them to do a lot of the heavy lifting for you at times, potentially, to get those key, stakeholders from another business involved. Like that, those ideas are great. I'm curious how you saw that develop for, in your own experience, whether it was Eloqua or the other businesses, from just those simple starts with the case study to where it kind of grew. What were some of the things, that steps along the way, that you guys made sure took place?
Yeah, I mean, the light bulb really went off for me first. I think it was about 5 years after I started Eloqua, so it was 2005, and a number of people came to me, and this was before I had a live event or any sort of a community at all, where people say, a big reason why we picked you guys is because we want to be part of the club. Like, we like what you're building here. We like the feeling of what your company is all about. And like the light bulb started to go off there. I noticed that, first I noticed that when looking at the buying process of our customers, referrals are really important. Customer evidence is like a key part of their decision-making process. And I would encourage really everyone on this call, including marketers, if you don't understand how people buy from you, what are the mechanics, what's the process, how people buy from you, that you really go and do that work. It's really valuable work. I do a lot of that in my coaching as well. So I noticed that advocacy is really important, but it was not easy to get people to advocate, actually. You get like a spike if you do a referral campaign or something and go right back down again. And it wasn't until I did my first ever event, kind of like Hot Takes Live, but live and bigger, and in a ballroom, and me in a tuxedo and all that, and noticed that we had a huge amount of advocacy from people that were at that event. And that's really when a big light bulb went off for me, right? And why were we getting advocacy, even though we didn't even ask for it? And that's because people were having an amazing experience. They were just loving being part of the whole Eloqua club. And their result, their behavior was that they provided a big burst of referrals and all kinds of other stuff for us.
For sure.
So that's kind of when I put two and two together, which is if we want more advocacy, which is really valuable, we need to provide a better experience for advocates. And then I realized that would be another company because
Well,
that was not what we did. So then I was able to start that company a few years later.
yeah. Well, great. Look, this has been an awesome talk, Mark. Thanks so much for joining today. If anybody wants to go back and listen, you're welcome to do that. Take a pause at any point and grab some of those key little tidbits off the slides. Once again, thank you, Mark. Hope we can connect again soon, and good luck.
Looking forward to it. Thanks, Joe. Have a great event.
Thanks. And we will be back here just in a little bit, probably at, let's see, 2:15 Eastern with Dante, and looking forward to that talk.